What are the most badass moments within Steven Universe? Hello everyone, this is a Steven Universe discussion slash theory video on the coolest slash epic slash most badass moments, or at least what I deem the most badass moments within Steven Universe. Moments that I thought that were really cool from the character, or just like the concept of like revolving around something was really cool. You'll understand what I mean about that second one with one of the entries, so try not to feel confused about that. If I did confuse you, I apologize. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory, just really cool moments that I thought that were, really epic or just plain out awesome through the series. Now, granted, yeah, I know a show that's all about love, peace, and acceptance and everything like that doesn't really have like many badass moments, personally. Not what I deem badass and anything like that. You might deem something else badass, like, I don't know, Steven eating a bunch of ice cream within the first episode. You might think that's really cool or something like that. That's you, but, this is just something I wanted to put together just for the hell of it. But, enough rambling. Let's just get on to the list. Number 5 is going to be Stevomme versus Jasper. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. We finally get a moment that people been waiting for since, like, the concept of Stevomme and then eventually Connie getting the sword, and then people thought, it would be amazing having Stevomme having a sword and shield. It would be beautiful. I thought that would be for like a finale type thing when they would fight against the diamonds. They still might do it, actually. That would, still be pretty cool. I would love to see that. But I was thinking they would save it for something extremely big. Nope, they gave it to us kind of unexpectedly against, not really, I suppose, like a really high-ranking quartz, but, a very powerful quartz, so it still works out. But what makes the moment even better is the fact that Stevomme's riding Lion into battle against Jasper, who just, with no problem, took out Amethyst with like a couple of shots, and that was it, and was about to crush her. And then Stevomme takes the lead, and they're holding their own pretty well. It's really incredible, actually. I do love it. The only reason and gripe, I suppose, I have with this moment is that I feel the fight was just a little too short. If they extended it out just for a couple of more seconds, like legit 10 more seconds, I would have loved it, actually, and probably would have been number 4, but, there's only so much you can do within 11 minutes of animation. So, yeah, Stevomme versus Jasper, really great fight, I love it, and it's just honestly pretty cool. Number 4 is Peridot's threat and arrival. Now, I know this seems just a little bit different. It's not as, like, self-explanatory or simple to understand, such as like a fight or anything like that. Reason why I put this on the list is that our Peridot, this Peridot, the ones that everyone makes memes out of and everyone loves and everything like that, you gotta remember, this is the same Peridot that was, mysterious, like what we thought of evil, and then just plain out awesome at the time. Comes out of nowhere, we don't know what she really wants, and like the next thing we know, she's reporting people, and people thought, okay, yeah, whatever, don't touch her stuff, he's gonna report you. But no, the threat actually from Peridot is so great to the gems that it actually scares them, that they have to prepare for everything. Look at their faces here. Like, they're actually scared here. Now, I know, like, what they thought of, at least for Garnet and Pearl, they thought, like, another war was coming, and they didn't want to deal with that. But it's, like, still, the threat of just, like, this one person they met out of nowhere coming in and then just, like, doing whatever she could do is pretty scary. And honestly, a badass moment for Peridot, because not only that, this goes with her arrival. She has a threat. She has these gems that more or less can do anything if they set their mind to it. She has them scared out of their minds, more or less. Not only that, when she finally arrives to Beach City with her hand ship, that's just kind of weird, but it can still do anything. It's intimidating. Coming down slowly to Beach City, it's scaring people to the point where they have to leave Beach City entirely. As again, look at the people here. Look at the gems here. Everyone's freaking out. And then eventually, Peridot finally comes down, and then she almost actually shatters or heavily damages the gems. She was really close. If Steven didn't come back, that probably would have been the end of the gems. Like, the crystal gems, that probably would have been it. Just like, that is honestly insane. So, props to Peridot, honestly. Like, before, you know, she was like this cute little green whatever. She was like this intimidating villain that was just wanting to do her job. And it's like, she almost killed the gems. That's honestly badass. Number 3 is Lapis's debut. Lapis. She always seems to find a way on my list. She was the first gem that wasn't a fusion and like not really a crystal gem that we didn't know of at the time. She was this new gem that came out of nowhere, more or less. She was hanging out with Steven and everything, so you think, oh yeah, she would like fit in with the crystal gems perfectly. She would be a great friend and everything like that. Maybe shy, something like that. Maybe that's why she was yelling no. No. The second she gets out of that mirror, more or less, she with no hesitation attacks the crystal gems and pins down Garnet with no trouble, and Garnet's actually like struggling, or you know, taking her time, I suppose, getting up, like stopping this gem that came out of nowhere that we find out that can control water. She can control the entire ocean. Like, that's fucking badass, honestly. She can control the entire ocean, and she proved it within next episode. Ocean gem, just like out of nowhere, next thing we know, the entire ocean's gone, and then it's a tower nearly to like space. This gem that we barely know anything about attacks the crystal gems just because, like, I mean, she has her reasons to, but like to us, it's like, what was that for? That's why I love Lapis. She does whatever she wants, and it's just honestly badass. And not only that, going back to like Ocean Gem, she makes these gems, or like water clones, that are just as strong as the gems, if not stronger than them, in a fight. And she did everything she did within these 2 episodes with a cracked gem. So that by default just means she wasn't really at full power. Like, what? It's just honestly insane. And I'm pretty sure those 2 episodes, or at least Ocean Gem specifically, is like the most viewed episode within Steven Universe, or at least like one of the most views. So she's just honestly badass. Love it. Number 2 is Opal's debut, or introduction, however you want to put it. But yes, kind of going with Lapis, it's kind of the same thing here, but with Opal. With Opal, she was the first fusion that we saw. Not counting Garnet, because we didn't know that at the time, so don't start with me on that. Opal was really cool, and just deemed badass in my book, because she's this very first fusion that we see that they more or less hype through the entire episodes. Within like the first minute or 2, they say like, this is why we don't form Opal. So you're thinking, alright, who's Opal? And then by the last minute or 2, we finally get to see her, and she's so... This is why I love Opal. She's the perfect mix of grace coming from Pearl, and then style coming from Amethyst. That's what makes Opal. That's what I love about her. She's more show, don't tell, as I say, because if I'm right, she's only said about 15 words in the entire series. I think that's like one of those fun facts type things. I don't know, you can look it up. But yeah, she's only said very few words, yet her actions make up for it. We first see her, doesn't really say a word. She does a bunch of backflips, like, that's really cool, slides down, like, at least 500 stairs, and then jumps all the way to the other side within like seconds. That's badass. And then to top it off, like the very like whipped cream and then even a cherry on top, she pulls out this arrow. She even fuses weapons, Pearl Spear and then Amethyst Whip. She fuses them. So it's an introduction to that not only gems can fuse, but their weapons can fuse as well. we get this really cool bow. It charges up and everything, and then one-shots all of the other tiny birds. And not only that, if you notice, the birds not only get poofed, but they immediately get bubbled. That is crazy. And she did all this within like a few minutes. That's honestly badass in my book. Sorry if you heard that sound, that was my pen. But yeah, Opal, this is why I love her. She is very silent, she just does the action, and she just gets to it. Number 1 is Jasper's Gem Hunt. This entry alone was honestly enough for me to make this entire list. I could have made the video only just for this moment. I could have just thought of the best moment or the most badass moment within Steven Universe, and I could have talked about this one moment for like up to 8 minutes or even more. I really could have, because I really love this moment and what I dub the most badass moment within Steven Universe. Jasper in Gem Hunt comes out of nowhere and then just straight up knocks down this like giant gem that's like twice or even tripled her size and height, completely like just pushes it over and then starts punching the daylights out of it like nobody's business. And she does all of this with like the most smug and sinister smile, or at least that's been taken over by Navy now by this point, but still, look at this smile. That's the smile of evil. That's a smile of like, I want to do this because I want to do this. She had goals in this episode. She wasn't even done punching and everything. The monster was practically begging for mercy. She picks it up and then slams it back down into the snow. She still isn't done yet though. She twists the gem right out of it. Honestly, the slam should have been enough to poof the gem, but I'm guessing due to the snow, the soft landing and everything. But she twists the gem right out of him until like the gem monster poofs. That is aggressive, violent, and brutal. That's what I love about Jasper. And not only that, when she finally picks it up with like the best like moment within her entire career being on this show, you see that she has the other gem monster in. So that means she most likely did the same thing to the other gem monster, if not worse. So it's a good thing we really didn't get to see that on screen, because that probably would have been way too brutal for kids to see. But honestly, the best moment that makes this moment, like the best part of this moment that makes it the most for Jasper in my opinion, is the fact that out of all the times that Jasper leaves, she gets punched away or she gets dragged or she leaves with defeat or anything like that, this is one time where she leaves with not just like intimidation to Pearl, Connie, and Steven. Not that she leaves with 2 gem monsters that she practically murdered. No. She leaves with the one thing that she barely gets. She left with victory. She left with victory into the cold, snowy dust. She left with victory with her. That's what makes it her best moment in my opinion. And the entire moment itself is the most badass moment within Steven Universe. It was downright, like, aggressive, violent, brutal, as I said before, but that's what makes Jasper, and that's why I love it. But enough rambling, I suppose, and enough praying. But yeah, those are the top 5 badass moments within Steven Universe, within my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have any questions, comments, concerns, or any other discussion topics you guys want me to talk about. I'll try to answer them best I can. One drawing fan for the channel would be greatly appreciated. My email will be in the description below, so, tell me about it before you send me some, so I'll have a heads up. Have a great day, have a great night. Everything else, to do. Thanks for watching. Bye.